Welcome back everyone to Gran Turismo 3. This is episode 4 of our Gran Turismo 3 price car only run. And today we are kicking off with our latest and greatest car. So, at the end of the last video we acquired the Silvia K's 1800. This is a 1.8T CA18 DET car. And I'm excited to make some use of this thing because this has been a much awaited car to replace the MX-5, our NB Miata that we've been using, that we got for clearing the B license all gold. We got about 70 miles on the Miata, so a lot of good miles out of that car. Immediately we're going to do the oil change because it is necessary, and then we're going to go ahead and swap some wheels on. Let's see, what wheels do we want to go with though? Obviously I think going with, once again, some level of raise would go well with this car. I don't know which though. I don't want to run TEs on this car since we've already ran TEs on one. I'm leaning towards these. I really like these actually. We're going to go with these. So there we go. We got those installed. We are going to do some mild building with this car just because of the fact that we can. We're going to go ahead and do a full exhaust. We're going to try to get this car making more power than the Miata was. We're going to do the chip, which I always just call the ECU tune. So, making already 201 horsepower. We're going to go to the Stage 2 Turbo, I believe. Let's go ahead and do Stage 2, because that's all I can afford. And we're going to go ahead and upgrade the intercooler as well to the racing level intercooler. Should get us just under 300 horsepower. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to our tires. We're going to go ahead and equip it with sports tires. This pretty much about polishes it out in money. But we're going to go ahead and do the Stage 1 weight reduction as well. So now we should be in pretty solid shape to go and do some damage. So that leaves us around, what was it, 260 horsepower or so? 283 horsepower in total. So we're good to go. Let's go do some work. So obviously we can now have access to a handful of new cups that we didn't have access to before. We can handle the 80 Sports Car Cup as well as the Turbo Sports. And I think that's where we're going to go straight to, is the Turbo Sports race. This will be the first time we get to drive Special Stage Route 11, which I'm very excited about, as that is one of my favorite tracks in GT. That will be a lengthy race, but I'm just excited for it. I love this race. All right. Let's get this going. We got another Silvia. This is a 2000cc, so I assume it's a SR20. We have a 3000 GT VR4, a GTST Type M Skyline R32. We have a Fiat Coupe Turbo Plus and the Audi TT. See what our S13 can do with the smaller CA18. 280 horsepower is nothing to slouch at, especially for a 1.8. And we are racing at midfield. Come on, let's make some power, let's make some speed, and take some dubs. All right, we're already threatening the 2-liter car. See if we can catch up with that 3000. This is a very shaky first sector here. Not a great start here in terms of a good race. This is my first time driving this car, so definitely gonna have to get used to it. Come on, we can catch this thing. I think this car's got the grunt to catch up the 3000 GT, but it's definitely going to have a huge advantage over us with the all-wheel drive. And it being a twin-turbo V6, it's just able to fire out of corners significantly more aggressive than we can. But I'm going to give it my all here. I'm going to try my hardest. Because I don't want this car's debut to be my first loss in the playthrough so far in terms of a race. So far we've been 100% in all the races we've competed in. 5-speed versus a 6-speed in the Miata. Come on, little S13. We're rolling away from the 3000 GT. That is kind of a surprise. Not too bad for a CA18, eh? Man, a ton of understeer going into this early sector of the track, though. Which is just not good for numbers. tail kicked out pretty good there. This thing obviously is going to be a little bit harder to drive than a Miata, I think, because we got to deal with turbos now. We're going to deal with boost kicking in. So far, I'm not impressed with the handling at all. This thing is driving significantly worse than the Miata in terms of cornering. The Miata could probably take that a bit faster, and of course the Miata is significantly lighter. I feel like with some suspension work, this thing will be on par, but it is kind of not the best out of the gate. But so far, I'm liking it. Other than that, it's got the power apparently to pull away from a 3000 GT, which I did not expect this little CA18 to be able to do. Around the final corner here, full throttle, power out. All right, not too shabby of a run at all. And that is a race win for the Sylvia. A good debut victory for it. That makes me happy. All right, not too bad. Fully expected this car to get crapped on during the early parts of this, but thankfully I was proven wrong. All right, test course is up next. Another test course race. Obviously, we have the horsepower apparently, so I'm not too worried about this one. Other than just possibility of the speed governor kicking in and completely screwing this up for us. Similar grid to last time out. Seeing a 240SX here is interesting because, as we all know, the 240SX is naturally aspirated. The 200 was turboed, and the 180 was turboed, but getting ahead of the R32 here, we just have that 3000 GT sitting ahead of us, and we're going to be able to get around it with ease. Now we just got to see if it'll hang on. Obviously, our top speed appears to be significantly lower than it was with the Miata, so we'll be sitting here a lot. I think the Miata was able to get up to like 150, right? I don't even remember. I hate how much test course there is in the early part of this game with these slower cars. Like, it's kind of ridiculous. Guess we can hang out in third person for this race just because it's so simple. I'll say the models, even though they're PS2, they've aged fairly well, I would say. Obviously, are the GT7 models going to spit in this game's face? Duh. But I find this game still attractive to play, even though it is 23 years old now. Which is crazy. Like, goodness gracious. This game is quite old. Yeah, foot's down. Topping out about 144 miles an hour, which is unfortunately going to allow the 3000 GT to get back into contention here. Not much I'm going to be able to do about it, really. Because he just has a higher top speed than I do. Trying to defend here and try to bounce him around a little bit. See, I'm halfway tempted to just go ahead and quit out, because it's obvious that I'm not going to be able to win this. That's going to be impossible, so we're going to go ahead. I hate it because it's 2 minutes in already, but I need to swap out the gearing on this car. Alright, we're back, and unfortunately, we're down a yellow Miata, but we now have the better transmission on this car that will allow us to have a longer final drive, which should allow us to win, actually make this race win possible. So, we now also have a 6th gear, so that'll be nice. See what she can do now. Still the factory clutch in, so it's still going to take some sweet time to shift, but we should have enough gearing now to win this race. Maybe. It's starting to look like I don't. We really didn't gain all that much in terms of speed. We'll see when we come around the straight. How about 160-ish? Close to 160 this time. But we're going to be pinned up here for a while. Yeah, I had to get rid of the yellow Miata, but needed cash ASAP, and that was the best I could do. We are topped out in terms of speed for sure. Let's see. Doesn't look like he's gaining on me at all. I don't know for sure. 2.3 second gap. See if it stays that way. At this point, he'd already passed me. I think he may actually be gaining, but very slowly. Sort of I can hang on for dear life. Alright, we're getting ready to cross the start finish. Let's see where we are. 1.8. He is very slightly gaining. I don't know for sure if we'll be able to hang on for the race win here, but we're going to try. This is going to be tough. Come on, car. Just hang on. Almost looks like we pulled away a little bit. Don't know how, but we may have. We enter the tunnel in the back straight. 1.85. So we're actually stagnating. We're not getting farther ahead or farther behind him. So maybe enough to hang on to wrap this race up. Then we got the fun one at Special Stage Route 11, which will be, honestly, I'm looking forward to it because that's a track that I really like. And only time you'll ever get to see me drive it is if I'm playing this or I'm playing the original Gran Turismo, which was actually a live stream I was doing for a while that I probably should get back to at some point, honestly. Alright, we're coming around the final corners here. I think we're going to edge this one out. I don't think we're going to have to worry this time, but it's a shame we did have to lose the yellow Miata. I can't make the "now there's two of them" joke anymore. My Star Wars reference that I was making earlier. Oh well. We'll probably win another Miata at some point. But that is a race win. A very tough race win, but a race win nonetheless. And, yeah. We stagnated about 1.8 seconds. He wasn't able to get any closer. Which I don't necessarily get because we were over 2 seconds at one point. And then all of a sudden, he just can't catch me. So I don't know what was up with that. Alright, let's dip out of here and let's go hit up Special Stage Route 11, get our first prize car of the video. So, alright. Maybe could have done this first and not had to sell the Miata. Honestly, didn't even really think about that. But hey, you've already done it. So, same grid we've had, same cars. 2 laps of Special Stage Route 11, one of my favorite tracks in GT history. A track that I've been pretty much begging to see come back in GT7. Let's go. Back to bumper view. Around the TT and then the Fiat. We just got to fight the R32, the other S13, and the 3000 GT here. A little bit of a bump there from the R32. He runs wide there. We should be able to kind of dive bomb down the inside here and take P2. But he's going to dive bomb me back. Let's see if I can swing by here in this corner here. This is my first time ever driving this track with a wheel controller. We're entering the short straight here. Should be able to reel in that Mitsubishi a little bit. The R32 GTST has been able to make progress up the order. Now it's got to reel in that Mitsubishi. This is definitely a track that is better suited for it than it is for us, as it is a very tight technical track, which is going to benefit an all-wheel drive car like that 3000 GT. I'm going to have to rely a lot on keeping this car with traction here, and that Skyline is definitely going to be fighting me here. I need more of a straight so I can reel that Mitsubishi in. This car's definitely got the power to reel him in. It's just a matter of getting to a point where I can, and that was a terrible corner. Oh, man, that blows. This is legitimately my first time ever driving Special Stage Route 11 with a wheel, so I am definitely not thrilled with how this has gone for me. Let's see if I can make up some ground here on the main straight. We've lost a lot of ground, though, so it's going to be really hard. That Mitsubishi's got insane cornering on me, so I got to definitely hope and pray that I can use the extra horsepower to reel him back in. We're very behind. 4-second gap is not where I want to be right now. Use our newfound 6th gear. I think this might be our first L, honestly. I do not expect to win this race. Our first proper L, I guess, because test course technically, I wasn't able to win that one. There was no shot. Crap. I do that. I bump that wall so frequently on this track. He's actually pulled away slightly, so yeah, I don't think this is gonna be a race win. I think we're gonna take our first L, unless by some miracle I reel him in the next, you know, minute or so. I don't necessarily know what to get for this thing either, because it's like, can't really do more power. The tires are as good as they're gonna get without putting slicks on this thing. We are on stock suspension, so that may be where I go. I may just go the suspension route, because I think that's going to obviously help a lot with this thing. We'll get a little bit better handling, but I think that's like this car's big Achilles heel, is it cannot corner very well. And unfortunately, I just don't have the room to reel in that Mitsubishi. It was better that time, but still not ideal by any means. Ah, this blows. Unless the AI pins it in the wall and can't get unstuck, we're not taking the win here. We'll just have to settle for a podium finish here. Unfortunate, but we'll make do. We'll rebound here. Honestly, it's been an unfortunate start for this car. We were able to bring in a little bit, but not enough to really matter. Still took the L there. We'll get a couple grand. I think, honestly, the best move for this car is going to be suspension. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll see what our options are, because I definitely would... like to get this thing cornering nice. Okay, let's see. What are our options for suspension? The full customized kit is 15 grand, so the most we can afford right now is the semi-racing, which is fine because that'll help out enough, I think, but not enough credits left over to do the brakes, which is like the one thing I would like to really do with this car. So I guess I'm going to spend that money elsewhere and just do clutches, or do a twin disc clutch. This one should help out a lot with trying to just get this car a tiny bit faster. Alright, let's rebound. We got this. Second take is always better than the first. We'll be able to do this. Okay. I'm just going to go with the default settings of the suspension. We're just going to send it. So we'll see how this goes. We got a lighter clutch. We got faster shifts, theoretically. Car's gonna have better suspension. Hopefully we should be able to corner better. We should have a better shot this time. So let's make it happen. I actually really like the blue in that Fiat. That looks really good. Alright, right away we're doing a lot better. It's a shame we don't have the brakes. I would really like to have the brakes on this car. But unfortunately, that didn't wind up happening. The R32 kind of pushed me off there. We'll just get him right back. Alright, let's give the 3000 GT a fight. Like, we didn't add any horsepower, so this is all down to suspension and a different clutch. Alright, and we got the race lead right away. So that's really, it seemed like all this car needed was just suspension. The clutch upgrade was just a nice peace of mind to get this car a little bit more breathing room. Obviously, the 3000 is still going to have a huge advantage in getting out of the corner. That corner exit speed is definitely going to be in its favor, but I'm going to try my hardest to fight it. Alright, this corner was definitely the death of me last time out. So far, much better. There we go. Kick the rear end out a little bit there. Mitsubishi's still fighting, but we're going to be able to run away from it here in a moment as we are entering this car's advantage point with this race. Ah, that sucks. See, one little mistake like that, and it could mess this whole thing up. But luckily, we have the horsepower to run away, so we'll be able to catch him here on the straight pretty quick. All that sliding, though, just lost us a ton of time and a lot of ground, but we're going to be able to pull it back. Come on, car. Just got to be on my game a little bit. Big slide there. The AI is making a lot of mistakes on that Mitsubishi. We might be able to hang on for dear life here. This track is very much Advantage 3000 GT, but I'm giving it my all here to keep him behind me. Not enough, though, apparently. Gonna have to rely on the power again here. Come on, I do not want to lose this here. Crap. Come on. I'm fighting hard, but he's somehow able to give me a hard time here. See, dumb stuff like that. Come on. I'm about to lose again. I cannot believe that. I was holding it down so well. And then two dumb errors completely ruined it for me. It is unbelievable. I'm actually kind of disappointed. That's a lot of money I've put into this car when it's kind of limited, obviously. And this thing just can't crack it. 2 straight losses in this car. It's not a good feeling. In the same race, let alone like. All right, we're gonna give it one more attempt. Hopefully this time we'll be able to prevail. I'm definitely disappointed. This car, I genuinely thought that the amount of money we would have invested into it by now would be enough to give us a bit of an edge, but apparently not. I mean, I sold the yellow Miata for this thing to be able to finally edge out. So let's give it another try. 3rd time's a charm. Maybe we'll be able to get something out of it. I honestly can't even tell what happened and how I just lost all the pace that I built up. I can't tell the 3000s in this race. I think that's it in the front. So we'll find out when I come up on it. I'm definitely disappointed with this car though, because that should have been a win. But for some reason it wasn't. So I'm not gonna let it get to me. We're just gonna fight here in this race and try not to make dumb mistakes like that. That's my biggest issue with this track is, while I love it, I bump those inside walls so easily. There's not a lot of room for error. I had the race lead by now in the first run. It's already not looking great for me. Why is it understeering so bad? Going out of that corner. That's where I need it to be at its best. And it's just completely screwing me. Trying. I'm going to bring in a little bit of ground on him. I'm trying to modulate the throttle on this thing a little bit better. Trying to keep the sliding down to a minimum. It's already not looking good though, but we have a severe horsepower advantage on the straights, so should be able to reel him in a little bit and be able to hopefully make a dent here. Going into the final lap here, but it's not looking good so far. gosh, that's not what I needed there. Why is this car struggling so much? Hey, I made a pretty good mistake there. We'll see if we can try to capitalize a little bit. Onto that same wall again. A lot of errors from the AI here. Let's see if I can try to punish it. Was able to a little bit. It swung wide. I don't think I helped it very much. But we're in the lead now. Let's see if I can hold it. Keeping the tail in line is going to be my best strategy here. And 1.5 second gap. Let's see if we can hang on to it. As long as I don't mess it up here, it's over, and I've got it finally. But that took way more attempts than it should have, and I'm honestly disappointed with this car. I had really high hopes going into it. I thought this would be, you know, the one to use, but so far, 2 straight losses, Miata could never. I guess it just goes to show Miata is always the answer. We were able to take the win that time, though, and that's all that matters. So we were able to get a new car. Maybe we'll get something better. Obviously, our credits to build it are slim. So we may have to use the S13 one more episode. But, yeah. So we got. Our prize car is... Ah, of course. It's a piece of garbage. All that work to get something so bad. That is Gran Turismo 3 prize cars in a nutshell. So, let's see what all we have left we can do. Obviously, we'll need to get the A license for the GTWC. We don't have a Honda or an Evo or a Beetle or an Altezza or a Mercedes or a TT. So really we're left with the Stars and Stripes Cup, which is limited to only American cars, which obviously we don't have. We now have something we can do the Lightweight K Cup with, though, so we may be able to do that at some point. And I don't have a mid-engine or four-wheel drive car. That leaves pretty much for us the 80s sports car, the Clubman, and the Lightweight K Cup are what we can do right now. I don't think any of these cars are ready for the GTWCs, so regardless of if it's a beginner level or not. But anyway, guys, hope you all enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. This has been a really interesting episode. I had a lot of hopes for this car, and so far I've been let down, so hopefully we'll be able to rebound it in the next one. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys later. Take care.